Right folks, I'm just going to get straight to it this morning. I'm making 3 items that's really useful around my little mini workshop here. I'm in the middle of a big build for the Sunday video, so I thought I'd do this. These come in useful anyway. It's 3 inexpensive items that you should be using in your little workshop, and you can make these yourself so easy, and you can actually batch them out and sell them if you wanted to, make them a bit more fancy. So here I'm just cutting some plywood I had. Now I've got a new tool today, this track saw guide. I've got a old circular saw that it's just been sort of put away and left because I've been using the plunge saw, and I got this because I didn't want to get rid of my circular saw, and I thought I'd give this a try. Quite inexpensive, by a company called Craft, as you can see on the box there, and I thought I'd just give it a try, see what all the hype was about on it. And that's where you can go to find this company and this product. And I'm not sponsored by these anyway, in any way, sorry. Comes with full instructions. This is not a review. I'll get to the build in a minute. I'm just getting it out of the box to show you. It's all aluminium, looks really good quality. And prices vary depending on where you are. You can pick these up off Amazon. I think you can go to the Craft website and buy them straight from there, I think. But Amazon, what I'll do is I'll leave a link below to any of the tools I'm using today. So yeah, got this. I thought I'd give it a try and see if I can see how it compares against my plunge saw, really. So I'm just marking out here this plywood because I'm going to cut this into strips. You can make these items I'm making to any dimensions that suit you. Some people like these items big or small, or some people have got big hands, some people have got small hands, so they like, it's all relevant to how you feel comfortable with these. So these are all made out of scrap wood. This plywood is actually scrap wood that I've had lying about for ages off a different sort of project. And it's just getting in my way in me inside bit where I store all my tools. So I thought, right, let's get it used. Let's get it used up. So I'm cutting 3 different sizes of strips here. Make sure everything's nice and square. Get to the square edge of the plywood and measure off that. And this track saw, so easy. Track saw guide, should I say. It's really easy. I'm just using one of the tracks here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm using 2. Sorry about that. It's the video when I'm doing the voiceover coming back. The video it's weird. He needs an haircut now, bless him. I'm waiting for the woman to come and do him. This comes with everything. It comes with clamps. It's the full kit. It's just ready to go. It's so easy to put together as well, I will say that. So just make sure you clamp your piece down. Even if you've got like a plunge saw, make sure it's clamped down. It's just a safety thing. They are very grippy, and you'd probably get away with not using these clamps. But just for safety reason, and we're all beginners, use the clamps, because the last thing you want is a big bit of kickback and it takes your hand off. So here I've got me old Makita, which I bought back in, I think it was 2012 or 13, somewhere there, and I've had it, and I don't want to get rid of it. It's turned into a bit of a, I wouldn't say sentimental, but that sort of vibe about it. This saw has been through hell and back, and it's still working, so I don't really want to get rid of it. It's a quality tool. I could sell it and get peanuts for it. When I upgrade to probably a newer version of a tool, I might get rid of it then. But for now, I want to try it on this, and I've got to say, I'm right impressed with this track saw guide. The construction of it just feels like a quality tool. So yeah, give them a check out if you're on a budget, you got a circular saw and can't afford a dedicated sort of plunge saw or whatever you want to call him. So let me get him out. He's not jumping down today. Here he is. He wants to say hello to everybody. So This is my original push stick design. And I want a slightly, I'm going to batch out a few because obviously I'm going to go through a few of these. And a few people on the comments and that have asked me whether they can buy one. So I'm going to make a few for sale as well. It's something everybody should be tackling, but I get why some people want to buy off other makers. I buy things really sometimes that I could make myself. But for this, I thought I'd make a push stick, a push block, and a bench hook. Somebody suggested I use a bench hook. They see the state of me sawing with my Japanese saw and said, get yourself a bench hook. So I thought I'd make one, and that's what I've done. So you'll see that these 3 items in this video. If you watch to the end, you see them completed. And it's all bits of scrap wood I've used. So what would a bench hook cost you? I ain't got a clue. You can buy them, but you can make them yourself. So just let's say a bench hook would cost you up to sort of £20. Don't know what that is in dollars. If you went out and bought one from the sort of B&Q or the big box store or online. Then you've got the plastic push blocks, which I don't like the look of the plastic. I'm sure if they hit a blade, they could explode or something like that. So somebody tell me if that's the case. But with the wooden ones, they're not going to do that, are they? And the way I've made mine with no sort of screws and nails and stuff like that, it's not going to hit metal, and so it's dead safe. So I'm just making a cut. If you're unsure of making a cut, please don't make that cut. I'm lucky I've got this clamp that I can cut this short piece on this bit of wood. So I mean, look how close that is, really. I mean, it looks bigger on the video, but honestly it's not that big. Because what I've done on this video, I've made a couple of bench hooks. I made a bigger one and a smaller one. But the trick with these is make sure everything's sort of square. So the front face of where you're going to put your wood up to has got to be square, and the sides have got to be square. And that sort of bit there that I'm cutting, what you're going to butt your wood up against before you saw, that can be any depth to suit your needs. So you can literally knock these up in 5 minutes. I wouldn't say 5 minutes, let's be realistic. More like sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes. You knock one of these up. I'm just cutting a bit of dowels here. This doweling will be for the push block, what I use to put it together with glue and dowels. So if then the blade runs through at any point, it's going to hit this instead of screws. And being a beginner, I'm not, and like what we all are, sometimes, we can make mistakes. It's all right, the big time sort of joiners and carpenters saying, you can use screws, but just be safe. And there's it all cut up. Look at the state of that there. Look at the state of that. So this is the push block. Now you can see these are scraps of wood. Scraps of 2x4 and a bit of 4x1. And I'm just gluing it and doweling it together. Just plenty of glue on there. I'm not being as tight today with glue. Spread it out nicely and give this time to dry. Let it set. Now, if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. And please let me know where you're all from. And just another thing about the videos, I'm trying to make these videos better each time I do one. So if there's any suggestions on making my videos better and things you want to see, please let me know. Don't be afraid to comment. And just let me know. And don't forget to subscribe. The channel it helps the channel massively if you subscribe. And you can go to the Amazon wish list and the Buy Me a Coffee app. I'll leave links below. So I'm just giving the bench hook board just a bit of a sand over the edges just to get rid of them splinters and stuff. And like I say, if you want dimensions for any of these, please let me know, and I will. Any of my big builds, what I'm doing, I will start putting dimensions down to the builds. On my last video, somebody, I've had a few comments saying, what are the dimensions? You should put the dimensions down. And I totally agree with that. I should put the dimensions down. And I will start putting the dimensions down. That's a promise. But just as I'm now I'm getting used to using YouTube. It is a learning curve for me, and sometimes I do forget to write things down. A lot of what I do, is in my head. I'll just sort of like quickly put things down on paper, and I don't go with dimensions as such myself. So then I forget then to go back and remeasure stuff to, put down on paper for you all, but I will do. So get that square, make sure that square right to the edge there. A little bit of countersinking. Pilot hole and countersink, should I say. While I was doing this build, my arthritis was absolutely crucifying me. This build, I'm saying, it takes 10-15 minutes. I was having to sit down more than stand up. You don't see that in the videos because I can go and have a coffee and sit down for 10 minutes. But my arthritis was absolutely playing up. I don't know if the weather's about to change. I don't know if it's weather related. But let me know if you got anything sort of, any sort of medical condition that affects your woodworking and how you get round it. Because put it down in the comments, because I know a lot of people suffer from medical conditions and they love woodworking, and if it can help them and inspire them to do a bit of woodworking, that's fantastic, isn't it? And that's what we all want. So on my videos, what I want to improve is I'm going to be doing a few, when I'm saying how I'm going to I'm not going to change things, but I'm going to try videos a couple of different ways. So I'm just measuring here the doweling so I can get the right size of hole cut. Yeah, I'm going to try and improve my videos. All my videos are done using an iPhone and each scene you see, it's not been doctored or edited or anything like that. This is the first time, like this scene here, this is the first time I've done it and it goes on video. So if there's any mistakes I've made, you will see it. I'm not one of these that goes in, changes my t-shirt, fluffs my hair up, puts my makeup on, comes back out, shiny as Larry. I'll put that on a t-shirt, shiny as Larry. That'll be a good one, won't it? So I'm just going through the back of it here. This is the little hook that I'll use on me push block to hook onto the wood. And I make sure everything's got plenty of glue on it, no screws and nails. Because I guarantee, if I've seen some made where they've put screws in and said, well, if you do this and you do that, you won't go through the screw. But that's all well and good. As we all know as beginners, when you try something, with me, I get like a brain fog. And then I'll try something and it just doesn't go as what I've seen. So, and I like trying things myself to work out my own problems and solve my own things, how I do stuff. So this, at least I know it's going to be safe. It's 100% wood. Oh, a bit of glue. So I'm just jigsawing here with a little template thing I've made to get the bottom of the push stick, this one is, nice and level. And I've made a few little design changes on this, one being the finger holes. My original one, what I made, I had 2 holes on it, and it was a bit hard to get my hand round it. So what I've done away with the holes. I made one big sort of oblong hole, if that's the right word. So I keep practicing with the jigsaw now. It's a tool I'm getting to like using. I've listened to what some of the viewers have said, and I've took it down a notch. Now this is another handy tool, this Miles Craft drill mate, it's called. I got two at the same time. I bought this and I bought the tracksaw guide. So give them this just makes it life a lot easier. Keeps my hand away from that there, if you can see that. Keeps my hand nice and safe, and it makes the cut better. So I'm just going over the edges with a router. Don't do the underneath side here because you want that nice and flat to hit the wood. Just for a bit of aesthetics and a bit of comfort as I'm moulding it, I'm just going over the edges and running through on the inside of that handhole. Now, the handle there again, where the handle, sorry, I could have made that a bit down a bit so it's not as thin on the sides. It looks like it, you know, is a bit dodgy, but you know, I've got it here and it's solid as a rock, so it can be done. And what I'm using for this is 3/4 inch hardwood ply, 19mm in the UK, but it always comes in at 18mm. So I think the Americans, the US and Canada call it 3/4 inch ply. We call it 19mm ply. It's hardwood ply. So as you can see here, I'm not, my little flush trim saw is having a hard time, and I'm having a hard time. It's been through the walls, that I think I need a new one. So there's one of the smaller hooks, bench hooks I made. I'm just putting that to use now to do this, and look at that already, the control. I'm getting more control. So I'm just tidying here, I'm tidying these push blocks up, just giving them a sand, making sure, you know, I want it to look half decent as I'm using it. You know, looking at an old dirty old block of wood, I don't know, some people might like it, but I just want to make things look nice. So I just got Shelley to run over it with a bit of stain, just to give them a sort of pleasing look. And I'm using a combination of the spirit based dye here, and on the bench hooks I'm not staining them, we're just using like the finish varnish, just to give it a bit of protection, which this is also good stuff. So Shelley's just going over it here for me, and just let this dry. I don't know if it'll make a difference, I haven't got a clue. You don't need to do this step on any of it, but these are only workshop tools. But people ask me for, you know, for stuff, and if you want me to make you one, I will do, and I'll send it out, plus obviously plus the shipping. I don't know what they'll cost yet. So here we go with what I'm using here. I'm using the push block, and that makes that action there really easy. Now if I want to run up close to the blade, I can do, in the knowledge that if it goes through the wood, that's fine, and you can just throw them away and just make another one, can't you? And there's my push stick with the upgraded handle, and here is my bench hook, and that, it makes a massive difference. So thank you to the viewer that suggested I should make one. I do appreciate and do listen to everybody, and you know, it's nice. Everything is a learning curve, like I've said. So you put your comments down, and if it inspires other people to do stuff, that's really good. And here's a smaller push block I made. I thought, I'm not wasting the scrap. So anyway, this all well and good. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on Sunday with a fantastic build I guarantee you will all enjoy. It's one of my favourites. I'm well into it. It's amazing, amazing. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.